fellow traders, 'tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, October the 10th. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap-up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. As always, have your risk management in place. That way you should not lose more than you are willing to lose. So if we take a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, there's still some gaps that did not fill. In fact, it's been a long time since I've seen this many gaps not filled. The pound is 85 pips below the weekly open at the moment, 145 off the high and 84 off the low. If we zoom out to the month, we're 99 pips below the monthly open, 182 off the high and 84 off the low. And if we take a peek at the daily here, we can see we're below the opening range for the month and we're below the opening range for the week. But we are still above the opening range for the year. Notice yesterday, Thursday, we broke back into that opening range for the week and then it was rejected and definitely pushed down. For the year, we're 836 pips above the yearly open, 443 off the high, and 1247 off the low. And another interesting look at the daily chart. You can see on Wednesday, it poked back into the inside bar, the daily inside bar from 5 days ago. It also poked out of the weekly inside bar from a week ago, but then it snapped back in that weekly inside bar. And then on Thursday, it went down through that weekly inside bar big time. So if there's any inside bar traders out there, once again, these lines can be traded profitably. But I want you to remember, one, these videos for educational purposes only, and two, these things don't work every time. You can see here on Tuesday, it broke out of the inside bar high by a tiny bit, broke out of the inside bar low by a tiny bit, wound up back in it. So, does it work each and every time? No, but you as a trader have to set your stops. Make sure your risk management's in place so when it's not working the way you really want it to work, you don't get hurt too bad. And that's one of the things I was talking about, don't be fooled. Every trade is a unique trade. And just because something happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And it doesn't mean it's not going to happen again. You as a trader just have to see what happens and decide if it's not doing what you want it to do, how long you're willing to stay there, that you either say, you know what, I'm out, or I'm just going to wait. Now we've got some range action today. Today should have been, actually last Friday should have been red news. Today should have been red news, but no, still no NFP, government shutdown. But you can see here we've had some big moves, and I guess something must have happened in Australia. The pound Australian dollar moved 351 pips. The euro Australian moved 327. Let's see, the AUD USD only 92 pips. I'm wondering, because I'm not sure what happened. I see the euro New Zealand moved 227, the pound New Zealand 261. So something's going on down under. I'm just not sure what it is. And you can see here there was a nice move out of the buy zone. And we've talked about the buy zone a few times recently because I had some questions, or I was asked some questions, and so I was answering them. I'm wondering, maybe they released something here. Let's see, that's the 8 o'clock. No, there wasn't anything that I know of at 8 o'clock. Looks like the red rats are getting ready to feast here. We've got a new H4 opening, opened at 33.45. It's dropping. Pivot traded plan says near R1 is short, near the pivot short. So kind of got near R1. Bambino Flex says to go short. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. We took out the daily pivot, we took out the weekly pivot, and we've taken out the monthly pivot. So we have a missed pivot in the March month. We've got a few missed pivots here. We got one from last month here in September. And on the daily, we've got a few missed pivots there too. Let's see. We scrunch up the chart. You can see all those daily missed pivots. In and out of the lower wick zone a couple of times on both sides. Wick zone being right near the 3300 psycho number. And for the week, 228 pips of range puts us in the 75 percentile over the last 12 weeks. That's not too bad. I just noticed something here. Why do I have the ATR at 14 when I'm looking at 12? That's interesting. Not sure why I did that. And I'm not sure which one this is. That's previous high low. High low. ATR bars. I think most people use 14, and that's probably why I did it. So I'm going to leave it. I was thinking maybe that should have been 12. Okay, so we did not break out of the previous week's high. We broke out of the previous week's low by 124 pips. Anybody taking those breakouts would have been paid off nicely. For the week, high minus close 148, close minus low 79. So the rats were rewarded. Weekly open crossover traders, high minus open 60, open minus low 169. So the weekly open crossover traders were rewarded. And I think we saw that back here. Let's see, where was the weekly? The weekly's up here. I think that would have probably been from the day before when we broke through. Looking at today's price action, you can see we definitely crossed that 3300, the daily open. Those horizontal lines, once again, candle color at the line. You can see we've got the previous H1 low, candle color at the line. See if we can turn indicator 2 red. It's definitely resisting. There we go. Actually, it turns it magenta. And we need some H4 range to happen. So you see that last H4 was 102. This one's at 13. So H4 is going to range, and usually the last two H4s usually have a nice range because that's all of the New York session. So let's see here. You can see indicator 2 was magenta. M5 turned magenta. Right here on M15 and then M30. So there's a trader who wants to know where would you place the stop. Now Walmart would put the stop at the midpoint between the open and the close. And let's see, what would that price be? We've got a close 50, call it 57, open 02. So that's 55. Half of that is what? 27. So somewhere around 33, 29, 33, 30. It's just about where we are now. And that's where he would probably look to take profit. So we had a low at 33.31. So the price just bounced off of that. And then you can see here we've got two greens in a row. And so right here, lower low, higher close would be a signal to get out, take the profit. Okay, we had a lowest or highest low here. It's good for a few pips if you took that trade. So you can once again see these horizontal line trades, price action type trading can pay off. You just have to, whoops. Yeah, you just have to trade it. It's how you trade it. So right now, close minus year to date open percent all the way down to 6.68. Remember in June it was over 10. Sometimes you just have to know when to pick up your chips. Let's see, range by month, 266. Look at the ATR percentage. We're at 57 right now. Last month at 82. So you can see here things slowed down in September. We'll see if we've only got two trading week and a half. We still have 3 full trading weeks left in October, so there's plenty of time to move that number to the north. Let's see, price is inside that lower wick zone on the monthly, price turning down. Seller strong control. Move to the weekly. Previous bar was an inside bar. You see how it broke out there. Price below the lower wick zone on the week. Seller strong control at the moment. And for the daily, price between the wick zones, lower high, lower low. So that's down, but close above open. Turns that into a sucker bar. So, fellow traders, hope everything's going well in October. You're profitable. And I'm going to wish you a fun and safe weekend. And I want you to always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.